Cuomo scandal, which has huge political implications. It seems as though this is only going to go in one direction, though.
It's very, very big. Keep in mind that Andrew Cuomo comes from political royalty. I mean, his family is as important as the Kennedys were in the 50s and 60s. Now, look, the Attorney General there has come down with an inquiry report saying that she's discovered 11 cases of sexual harassment. Now, she also says in a footnote in that report, Pete, that there's no basis here to conclude there should be or should or would be criminal prosecution. So she backed off of that. And people like Ellen Dershowitz have made it very clear that under cross-examination and discovery, these charges against Cuomo won't go. So what's the problem here? The problem is the left wing of the party want to shame this guy and drive him out of office. I mean, this is about politics. Everything is about politics now. And this particular scandal, as creepy as he is, I mean, we have to distinguish between behavior which is not really acceptable and what goes to what becomes a crime or civil liability. And so it's threatening to destroy the Democratic Party before we get to the 2020 congressional elections. And for this reason, the majority of Americans, they just want this to disappear. As I like to say, as I said during the Watergate thing many, many years ago, Americans are prudish people. They don't want to talk about sexual misconduct in office, et cetera. And look, Cuomo's a young man. He's 63. He's not about to go fishing, and he's going to fight pretty hard, and he'll probably win. But they are going to try to impeach him, which is not the same level of accountability that we have with the federal impeachment. That is with President Trump. Trump had to have committed crime. This guy just has to have done something in office, what they call malfeasance. And of course, he doctored the books on how many people were dying in nursing homes, and people have argued that he used his staff to help write his book, for which he got $5 million for his pandemic memoir, and I'm very jealous of that, as a matter of fact. But it just threatens the party because the majority of Americans, the majority of people who belong to the Democratic Party are moderate, and they're not looking for his blood. They just want him to go away. But the left wing of the party, led by AOC and others, and Letitia James in the Attorney General's office, they're going after his head. So we got this classic thing, and President Biden doesn't need this. This pandemic has come roaring back in the United States. Hospitalizations are up. Kids and now young people are getting this thing. The variant's taking over, which is all a lesson for Australia, by the way. And he hasn't moved an iota with the Iranian nuclear talks or North Korea. And we got a very, very bad situation going on in Afghanistan, which is unraveling before our eyes. So but Biden's really between a rock and a hard place. Yeah. And Governor Cuomo will be there at the end of the day.
Yeah, unraveling indeed. We just had an item on the news about Afghanistan. I mean, it doesn't really come as any surprise. This is what we all thought would happen. The Taliban would keep on marching and keep picking up cities and outposts after each other until eventually, I don't know, what happens with Kabul.
Well, yeah, they don't even have to take Kabul. They're going to take all the district capitals, and I think about 60% of the country lies in their hands, in the Taliban hands right now. Look, the UN has warned that there are at least 20 terrorist organizations that will regroup in Afghanistan. I mean, it's a magnet or a hub for Islamist extremism, et cetera. And they're doing some terrible things. I mean, they're executing people, et cetera. And look, when they start killing kids trying to get back to school, young girls, I mean, it's going to look pretty bad. Now, look, America has never really won an insurgency in the modern era. I mean, it's just terrible at defeating America wins wars, but it doesn't win insurgencies. And at the end of the day, we entered a place where we were culturally blind, and we just didn't know how to handle it, and we thought we were doing some good. Same with the Australians and other NATO nations that joined it. But we're leaving this thing, and because of social media and television coverage today, we're going to get to see all the ugly things that happen. And a lot of people in the outlying districts, that is the pretty rough Taliban types, are going to go back to their old habits. And so the Taliban will once become an outlaw state. Afghanistan will once more become a cockpit for the great powers, and Pakistan and China and Russia are all watching it. And people don't realize this. Afghanistan has got stuff under the ground there that's worth billions and billions of dollars. It has all kinds of rare minerals and all kinds of perhaps oil there, and people are going to exploit this for the years ahead. So, as I say, Biden's got this problem. He's going to have to explain what's going on here, and I don't think he's going to hold the House of Representatives. And this is about numbers. If you got the numbers, you can do what you want. If you don't have the numbers, you got to go home.
Okay, Joe, good to chat. We'll talk to you soon.